Hi there everybody. Today I'm going to be doing my part of the Never Ending Story, part 3, and this is the ASMR Outlaws are doing a little storytelling thing where each of us tells a different part of the story, and when we end our story we end it with an and or an open sentence so that you can do your part of the story. So first of all we had the beautiful ASMR Duck. She started number 1, and then the last one was Peggy WhispersInChaos. I'll put a link to her story here, hopefully, and you can watch that before you watch my part. I really hope that my part's okay, because the first 2 parts have been really good. So unlike ASMR Duck and Peggy, I need my notes, I'm sorry. I've wrote down my story, I wouldn't be able to remember it. I think it's old age. So I'll tell you my part of the story. This is the Never Ending Story, part 3. And she finds herself falling in love with the handsome outlaw. In the meantime, back at the Lord's house, the Lord realised that the coach had been snatched, and he became such a rage. He didn't like people to cross him, and especially now that he had feelings for the tailor's daughter. He would stop at nothing to get her back, and he would use whatever force necessary to achieve that. He called a gathering and invited all the rough and tough men and women from the village to attend. He promised them a chest of gold for whoever killed the gang of bandits and delivered the tailor's daughter back to him. He even called on the old lady that everyone knew to be a witch. He sought her advice, and he asked her to look into the future. The old lady looked up at him, and she said in a crackling voice, "My lord, if you go down this path, I see troubles for you. I see a broken man who lives without money, love, or hope." The Lord became angry and dismissed her. There was no stopping him now. He decided to get on his horse and search for her himself. Meanwhile, back at the bandit's hide, the tailor's daughter and the kind bandit were planning a way to escape. The nice bandit swept a piece of hair from the tailor's daughter's eyes, and he said to her, "Please call me Cyrus." Cyrus, my parents named me after the brightest star in the sky. The tailor's daughter liked him even more now. She often gazed up at the night sky and looked at the stars. "Cyrus, how can we escape?" she said. Cyrus replied, "We will wait till dawn. We will wait until the bandits come back from their nightly rob. Once they are asleep, we can sneak out and head for the town that is over the biggest hill." There was a big hill in the distance. "I have some gold coins," he said, "and I can buy a horse and get you home safely." "Oh, thank you, Cyrus," she said, and the two stared into each other's eyes. The tailor's daughter's heart was pounding so hard and fast that she thought Cyrus would be able to see it over her lovely gown. She had never felt like this before. 2 miles away, the Lord was riding his horse when suddenly he noticed some markings in the mud. It was the markings of the coach. He knew he must be close, but it was getting dark at this point, so he set up a camp for the night. He lit a fire and made a makeshift bed, and knew the following day at dawn he would get back on his horse and he would find her. He would go in the direction of the biggest hill that he could see. He would wait till daybreak. Back at the bandits' hide, the bandits came home noisily, whooping and cheering, slapping each other on the back, and sharing their treasures. They had bottles of booze, fine jewels, fabrics, gold coins, as well as other unique items. Cyrus at this point had to play along with the bandits and pretend he was still very much one of them. He went over and said, slapping one on the back, "Excellent haul." He grabbed a bottle of booze and cracked it open. The meanest bandit of all said to him, "Have you had any bother from the princess over there?" And he pointed in the direction of the tailor's daughter. No problem at all," Cyrus said. He changed the subject quickly by giving a toast to all the bandits and gave out more bottles of booze. "Here's to all of us," he said. The rest of the bandits cheered, clanked their bottles of booze together. He wanted them to fall into a thick, deep sleep so that he and the tailor's daughter would get away at dawn. Pretty soon, all the bandits were out cold, snoring, drooling, scratching their bums in their sleep. Cyrus untied the tailor's daughter and gently put one finger over her lips and said, "Shh." The tailor's daughters took his hand and the two tiptoed out of the bandit's hide. The tailor's daughter was so frightened that one of them would wake up, and she gripped Cyrus's hand so tightly. As they got to the entrance of the hide, one of the bandits woke up and grabbed the tailor's daughter's leg and said, "Going somewhere, princess?" Cyrus quickly stood on the bandit's hand, and the bandit let go of the tailor's daughter's leg. During the commotion, the other bandits were starting to stir, and Cyrus stared at the tailor's daughter and said, "Run, run." "Run now," he said. "I will find you." The tailor's daughter knew to trust Cyrus, and she ran. As she was running, she turned round to look, and she seen that Cyrus had restrained the bandit, and he too was now running in her direction. He caught up to her and she hugged him ever so tightly. In the distance, they heard the sound of a horse. As it got closer, they hid behind a big oak tree. It was the Lord, and